So, yesterday I saw a post online this is on Twitter specifically, and the tagline was, "Comics broke me." And they're talking about the financials of what happened with people doing comics for a living and the financials of it accordingly. Now, I've been someone who's been talking about this for a long time. I 110% believe that you can make money in comics if you do the smart thing and do self-publishing. But if you trust in the money with the big two or the top-level indies, you're probably going to find out how little pay you can make. And let's keep it real. As a business, your job is to keep costs down as low as possible to maximize profits. Now, if you don't understand that, then you don't understand business. So that's something you should focus on. But a lot of people were complaining about the money they didn't make and how it affected their health and all kinds of stuff like this. And I just thought to myself, it's like, why in the world are these knuckleheads complaining about the contracts they signed and the money they received? And the really weirdest part, and I didn't get this at all, so many of these people, all they did was specifically work for a comic book business as their full-time gig. Now, it's great that they're living their dreams, doing comics, and that's what you want to do. But if you're not getting paid well and you have no health care, then maybe you might want to think about just possibly, getting a different full-time job. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a comic book artist. I know several guys who do it, and that's their full-time gig. But understand what you're doing. Understand what the main problem will be. Freelance work is a tough gig. I mean, I've been a graphic designer, 30 plus years. And I'll tell you, guys who work freelance specifically, that's a hard, rough job. You spend half your time doing the work and the other half like hunting down for your money. And I don't want to do that. That was not for me. So I got myself a full-time gig. And then I did the other stuff, my creative stuff on the side as a side gig thing. That's pretty simple. And a lot of people are upset, like, I'm not getting paid what I want. I don't know anyone who's getting paid what they want. Who thinks they're getting paid what they want? Who thinks they're getting paid what they deserve? I don't know anybody who's happy with their pay. I don't care what the pay is. If it was $1 million, they'd be like, hey, why isn't $1,000,001? No one is happy with the money they make ever. Because more is better. More is always better. You want less cake or more cake? You want more cake. Come on, let's just keep it real. So, to see these people in this situation just really kind of unnerves me. And I mean it from an adult perspective. It's like, how in the world are you going to sit there and complain that you didn't get the money that you wanted, even though you signed the deal? I saw somebody wrote they did like work on 3 comic books and they got paid like $80 for it. And I'm like, why would you sign that deal? You're going to work on 3 books and get paid $80. I mean, why would you? That's a waste of time. And they got upset about it. And I'm like, I'm upset at you for taking such a stupid deal. I mean, damn. It's come on, dude. It is just common sense to go, maybe this isn't a good deal for me. Maybe this isn't my best financial needs, in at least in my mind. And then let's be honest. I'm of a certain age. I'm 53 or soon to be 53. I know I'm going to retire. Eventually I'm going to retire. So I'm going to need to have some stuff saved up to keep myself alive. And that's why, I got into real estate. And that's why I have a 401k. And that's why I work a full-time gig. And I do this as an additive to it. It's just that simple. If your primary function is doing art or writing comics, you should be making the money accordingly for it. I don't think you have to get, crazy, but I think, at least, okay, I'll talk about from artist perspective, and then I'll talk about from a writer's perspective. Because from a writer's perspective, even though it is difficult and you've got to get the work done, you can put it out. If you're a good writer and you're fast, you can do 2, maybe 3 scripts a month. And before somebody says, oh, that's not possible, I want to remind you that Chuck Dixon was writing 4 books at one point every month. 4. So you tell me about you can't do 2. Nah. I'm sorry. Anybody tells me you can't write 2 comic books a month, I'm sorry. So don't be telling me you can't write 2 books a month. If you're a writer, that's what you do. You write. And you should be getting sales on top of that. Get the sales, get the writing. 2 books a month is not much to ask for. What can I say? I don't understand why this would be a thing. And more importantly, I don't understand how you all aren't figured this part out. Okay, I don't understand how this has not been handled or dealt with like adults. If you don't like the pay you're getting, either find a way to make more money or find a way to do it on your own. You know, say what you like about Eric July. You may not like his politics, you may not like his stuff. The guy still raises money and gets millions of dollars outside of the traditional system to make comics. You know, he's making comics. And he's found a fan base that's more than willing to support him making his comics. Now, you may not agree with him politically, but hey, if you're in business, what do you say to that? You raise $3 million on a comic book that costs $30. Even I'm like, Jesus, who pays $30 for a comic book? But there's a fan base out there who did it. And you don't see him going, comics broke me. So I think we need to start growing up, start doing things that are more advantageous to the creatives, which means figuring out a way to really do this thing like a business. But some of you guys are doing this like a side hobby and you want full-time money. And that doesn't happen anywhere. So you figure it out. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Do us a huge favor. Click the like button below if you like what I talked about. Or click the dislike if you didn't like what I talked about. I'm good either way. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you all later.